Hello everyone, welcome back to Property Couple. This is our channel where we talk about everything property, business and working together as a couple. My name is AK.
I'm Lia, and today we are talking about how to get started in property. Someone's watching this and they're thinking, I really want to get into property, I want to do property. Where do I start? Like, what is the first step?
Let's start with the three most common challenges. I know our challenges were we had no idea about property.
No idea.
Like nothing. So time was a big factor because I was working in a full-time job. So again, a lot of people are like, I just don't have the time for property, you know, because it does take time.
Yeah.
Right, and a lot of people are working your traditional Monday to Friday, 9 till 5.
Yeah.
So that's a big factor. And also money. A lot of people are like, I don't have money to go out and build a big portfolio.
Yeah. A lot of people right now just don't have enough money to exist. Existing right now is expensive. Living and just being here is really expensive. So how do you even begin to start thinking about doing property if you couldn't only just about keep yourself here?
Yeah.
Like, that's a big one that a lot of people are feeling right now.
Well, I can definitely give solutions to each one of those three.
And that is why we come to you, the solutions man. But obviously we can only talk from our own experience as well about what we've done. So should we start there?
Yeah.
First thing was knowledge and not knowing anything. So we did about 1.5 years of just learning, didn't we? Just courses, training, all through the lockdown we did trainings and stuff.
So get educated.
Getting educated, that was a big one.
That's the thing, isn't it? I meet so many people who are like, yeah, but you know, there's YouTube videos and what books can I read? I think a lot of people don't necessarily look at the education part and go, well, it's easy. Surely you just buy a property and then it's easy.
I think my opinions on that are, without the property training, you can only go so far.
Yeah.
You could probably reach like this level in property, but through doing the training, that's what's allowed us to like build our portfolio to where it is now and like propel ourselves as well into like the future vision of where it's going. Because I think there was a lot of mindset stuff on the training as well as property knowledge and facts and boring legislation and stuff. Like there's a lot of mindset.
Well, there's also different types of property investing. Like if somebody just wants to go out and buy 1 or 2 houses, that's fine. I'd probably say, do you know what? Don't bother going and doing loads of property education because anyone can really go out and buy a couple of houses. If your goal is to build a professional property investment business, then go and get educated. And go and do it properly. And again, it goes back to that kind of like, what does an amateur do and what does a professional do in any industry? In any industry. Yeah,
for sure. Like, I think if someone had the funds themselves to buy a single buy-to-let that they were gonna perhaps do up themselves, then they'd kind of reach that level where they'd be like, I'm now out of funds, out of energy, and that's the peak of their property investment. So kind of maybe 1 or 2 buy-to-lets. But we definitely didn't have enough of our own money to even just do that. So for us, we had to go down the professional route in a way, because professionals go and raise money to do investments. So we did that, but on a small scale for our first deal and for every deal since.
Exactly.
So learning just like how to go raise money, how to put that into a deal, how to pay back that investor, the agreed interest rate and stuff like that was a massive part of it, wasn't it? So getting educated.
If I explained that to somebody, I doubt very much that they'd be like, oh yeah, that's complete common sense.
Yeah.
Like, no, it's just you don't know what you don't know.
You definitely don't know what you don't know. Like, no one in school says like, oh, businesses go out there and they raise this money and then they do this with it and they make money for themselves and for other people. And it's a win-win for both people in the situation. And obviously at the beginning as well, you don't know what value you can offer because you haven't kind of got any, when you've got no education, no learnings, no portfolio. Not what are you bringing to the table. So I think for us, the learning was like a really big thing.
So that gets over the hurdle of experience. So I've got no experience, how do I get into property?
Go and
learn
training
properly how to be a professional property investor.
Yeah.
Don't just go and listen to like a few YouTube videos and be like, oh yeah, cool, I'm gonna give this a crack.
Yeah. And what was the second one we were saying?
The second one was time. I don't have time to do this. I don't have time to be a property investor. I don't have time to go out there and buy houses.
So at the time when we started, you were full-time 9 to 5 working in the corporate world. I was full-time with my YouTube channels, however, I would say 100% of my focus was just on one thing. So I'll let you comment more on the time thing, because in a way I was deciding my own schedule, so I was in a bit more of a privileged position with time.
I think time, the way to get around time is leverage. So what do I mean by leverage? Leverage networks, leverage other people's time, leverage contacts. Let's take agents, for example. People who have an abundance of properties that you can basically speak to, and they're essentially going to line up all the appointments for you. So if you have multiple agents with multiple different properties, I would sort of sit there in the middle of the week and I would just kind of like book all these appointments. It's leveraging them to make sure that your viewings are all filled for the day you go up, right? That's one example.
Yeah, and when you say the day you go up, do you mean going to an investment area and booking your diary out with like 10 to 15 viewings, as many as you can, if not more, sort of like from the moment you get there to the moment you leave?
Exactly. So that's one example. Another example would be that when we originally started looking in our investment area that we didn't invest in, I sort of got in contact with people in that area that were already investing. So again, that's leveraging other people's knowledge and time. You know, I reached out to that network to say, guys, who are invested in this area? Can anybody give us a helping hand? Can anybody recommend?
Can we go for a coffee?
X, Y, Z, can we go for a coffee? That's leveraging other people's knowledge and time. I guess that's another kind of benefit of doing this properly, is becoming part of property networks. Because that feeds into the whole, like, oh, I haven't got enough time to do this. And it's like, well, you don't have to do every single thing yourself. It's just find the people that can do stuff for you and use them in a good way, in a positive way, to help you do that. And that's all that is leverage.
And what was the third barrier? Was it money?
Money.
So we touched on that a little bit earlier about raising finance from people with money that are doing nothing with it. What were our blocks with money, would you say? Very
traditional beliefs about money. So money doesn't grow on trees, that's too expensive. The only way I know, because the only way we've been taught, is save, buy a house. Save, buy a house. So we've got all of these sort of like ways of thinking that have been embedded from years and years of conditioning, and then you're trying to sort of battle that. So the first thing was unblocking that, and actually the first thing you and I learnt was you can use other people's money to build your business, which makes complete sense, right? You might have to wait a little bit of time before you sort of reap the fruits of the tree. You know what I mean? The fruits of your hard work, the fruits of your labour might take a little bit longer, but that's because you've had to use other people's money to get there. But one day, like, this little tree that's growing will be like this solid, massive tree with like deep roots that you can't just like knock down. Exactly, it's a really good way of putting it actually. We learned this term called OPM.
Other people's money.
Other people's money. When most startups start, they use investment. So it's kind of no different with a property business. So people are always like, oh, how are you buying all these properties? How are you buying all these properties? Now, you know, one element to it is obviously using investors' money. The other element to it is using the buy, refurbish, refinance and rent model. BRRR. To recycle as much money as you can out of the deal to then put towards the next deal as well. So those two combined are a really good way of scaling your business.
For sure. But again, all of that goes back to point number one. We wouldn't have learned how to do any of that without doing some of the learning.
Such a good point.
So all of that, like buy, renovate, rent, refinance, how would we have known any of those things? I mean, maybe we could have watched YouTube videos, but would those YouTube videos have gone into depth?
You make a good point, is that maybe we'd have come across it, but there's one thing going like, okay, this theory makes sense. You buy, refurbish or renovate, refinance and you rent it out. Okay, that makes sense. Everyone gets that, right? But actually, what are the steps to do that?
So
that's
true.
The difference.
Every single step has got its own little challenges and things that pop up. And I think I would have actually shat myself signing a personal guarantee if I hadn't got a network of other people that were like, oh yeah, when you do your PGs, this and this.
We've got experience, and that can be overcome with education. We've got time. I don't have enough time, which can be overcome by leverage and understanding the power of a network. And we've got money blocks. So money blocks, like I don't have enough money, or how do I scale this business? That's overcome by understanding the power of other people's money and how to do that effectively, safely, properly, efficiently.
I think that answers the how do you get started.
So how do you get started? That's how you get started.
That's how you get started.
That's how you get started in property.
We hope you're enjoying this video. We hope you're enjoying this new style of video. We're actually trying out something a little bit different where we film each other, but we're not sitting next to each other. So we hope you guys on YouTube are enjoying this and it's not strange. Please be sure to subscribe to our channel if you're not already subscribed, and click the notification bell to get a little pop-up on your phone every time we upload a video. And we'll see you next week. Take care, guys. Bye.